Hey, it's me, Kane, the guy that does the stuff. Thank you very much if you made it through even more than a couple of seconds of yesterday's video. Really appreciate all the people who wrote to me and gave me like genuinely useful feedback, and especially double thank you, triple thank you, even let's just say 10x thank you to the people who were insane enough to uh, give me money on Patreon as a result of seeing any of that stuff. That I can't express how happy that makes me to see stuff like that. So thank you very much. So let's get into it for day 2 with 33 minus 1, carry the 7. So that's 32 days remaining. So what I want to do today is start by talking about what I did today. And one of the things I'm really trying to do with these videos is like just capture what day-to-day life is like as a solo-ish indie developer. And while it may not be applicable to everybody's experience, it's at least a person's experience that might be insightful for you. Again, if you just you're particularly sadistic and you like to watch people suffer, if that's what you're into, I'm not going to yuck your yum. Or if you're thinking of getting into this, maybe you want to see what day-to-day life might be like. So really what I want to do is show you the reality of what's happening rather than just focus on like the fun and sexy stuff. You know, like everyone loves to see like cool art going into the game, or like, you know, cool new features and stuff like that. And, you know, like, oh wow, what if we like solve this like particular gameplay thing? But like the reality is, at least in my experience, and this may not be true for everybody, is that most of the stuff is just, you know, it's pretty ho-hum. Like it's don't get me wrong, it's like the coolest thing in the world. I've been working as a professional programmer slash tech person for, you know, nearly 15 years now. And it's the most fun, enjoyable, and like exciting thing that I've ever done in that entire career. And hopefully it's what I can keep doing for the rest of my career. But, you know, it's not all like razzle dazzle. Some of it's just some tedious bullshit, because that's what working with computers is like. So yeah, let me walk you through a couple of the things that I did today. You got some suggestions on what you found helpful, or the stuff that you're like, hey, didn't need to see that stuff, maybe leave some of that stuff out, buddy. That's all cool. All feedback is super appreciated. Thank you very much. I just want to say again, if you feel like supporting what I'm doing and want to see more of this stuff, please jump on down to that link in the description to jump onto my Patreon, where you can get all sorts of amazing and incredible life-changing, like really like life-altering benefits, like access to an amazing Discord channel, which is mostly just me and like a couple of my friends at the moment, but don't tell anybody. Access to early builds of the game as they're coming out, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today, as well as, like I said, some other cool things there. You can get source code of the game and even get your name included in the credits. So if those things sound cool to you, or you're like, I've got too much money, I need to get rid of it, it's like it's weighing me down, this is just too much money, then I'm happy to help. I'm your guy. Right. So where I want to start today is where I start my day, like for real. The way I organize my tasks and the things I need to get done is I do everything out of GitHub. I've used like a bunch of different tools over the years, and I used to be like a big fan of Trello, but like given that the vast majority of the work that is done for the game is going to be out of GitHub, right? Like it's mostly going to be through the pull, through like making pull requests and making code changes over time. For me, it makes the most amount of sense to like track the project there, like keep all the things in one place, and that just makes it easier, and you don't get confused as to like what's going on. I think like a really important thing with like any kind of project management is like having a single source of truth. Is just making sure that like everybody knows like A, the list of things that needs to be done, and B, who's responsible for getting them done. And as long as you got those two things right, most of the time that solves like a lot of your problems with managing your projects. You heard it first on Kane's project management tips. So yeah, usually I just like look at this list, pick the thing that sounds like it would suck the least, or the thing that I'm like most excited about or whatever, or just something that I fucking have to do. And like, so today's like thing that I have to do is get Steam deployments working, which I know, calm down. It sounds pretty like outrageous and exciting and life altering. And it is, but that's what we're going to do today. And like the reason for this really is just so that we want to make it so that just like, again, normal, like some of this stuff is just like brushing your teeth. You just got to get it done. Making it so that we can get like iterate on the game, make a build, and push it out to people like quickly and reliably is really important. Because the quicker we can do that, the quicker we can get feedback on the game. And that means that the quicker we can improve it. And so making those like feedback and iteration cycles as quick and as fast as possible is just like a super important thing to do. And then it's also just like a good practice, not one that I always do. I used to be a bit better at it when I was a little bit younger. Anybody that who's watching this that's worked with me before could probably comment that I used to be a real hard ass about this stuff. But like, just making it so that building the thing is super easy and like really obvious is just a super important thing to do in your project. Like, because as soon as there's any friction, like as soon as you're like, okay, I'm gonna do a build, oh fuck, no, I have to do a thing, you're not gonna do it, right? Because it's too hard and it takes too much effort. So making these things like as automatic as possible just means you're gonna do it more, and that's a good thing. So, you know, today is one of those days. Just brushing my teeth, doing the things that I gotta do. So I'll walk you through a couple of those things and hope you find them interesting. So I spent a bit of time today reading through doing the thing that every developer loves doing, reading documentation. You just gotta do it, kids. Reading through the documentation for Steamworks, which is, you guessed it, the Steam SDK. Congratulations. And figuring out how that works, because I've never used it before. And it's actually really cool for me to, like, as a person who has been playing Steam games since, like, what did Steam? 2003. That's 20 years. Fuck, I'm old. I remember when it was like green. I remember having this like really like life-changing moment. I was at a friend's place who had just set up a new gaming PC. Shaman, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He just set up a brand new gaming PC, and he was like, oh yeah, I gotta like reinstall some of my games. And he's like, oh, could you help me like download CS, Counter-Strike? I was like, yeah, like, where's the disc? And he's like, oh, you don't need the disc. You just go to Steam. I was like, what's Steam? And I just remember my mind being completely blown that, yeah, obviously you like download games, like you pirate them, but like you own this game and you can like set up a new computer or like go to another computer and like just download it and install it. And that's like, it's something that's so obvious and like something that we completely take for granted today, but like just that, oh man, that like first moment when I like got to see that happen is pretty cool. So yeah, so it took me 20 years to go from consumer of Steam to like producer of Steam, producing things for Steam, but we got there in the end. So after going through the documentation, turns out there's just an executable that they give you that you log in with like a dedicated build account, which you set up and all that sort of crap. And then they have this like this script or something. This doesn't really look like a script to me. This looks like some sort of like manifest or something like that. I don't know what a VDF is. Maybe it's a Valve description file. What I've done here is I've oh no, this isn't the right one. Okay, I found the right file now. So all I've done is just modify like the basic things. Is these concepts of like an app and a depot and all those sorts of stuff. Details aren't that important and potentially covered by NDA. Please don't sue me, Alf. But once we've got this all going, essentially all that we had to do was give it the app ID, point it at like what the root directory of the built game is, like, so not the source, but like the actual executable that we're going to give to players. And then it just kind of worked. Like, it's not super exciting. Like I can show you like uploading it, but like it's not. Do you want to see that? Let's do that. Let's upload a new build just for fun. Let's just get crazy. Let's just go wild. All right. So we fire up this Steam CMD thing. We log in. Obviously, I'm using my user instead of the build user I set up because like I forgot the password already and couldn't be bothered resetting it. It's a whole thing. It's fine. And then we just run this, run app build, run app build scripts. What's this thing called? Simple app. Stand back. I'm an expert. I don't know. PDF. And does a thing. Look at that. It's just, but don't. I think it's just realized that I've already uploaded this build. But there you go. How cool was that? We just like typed some commands in and like out came a build. Super cool. And if we've done things right, we should be able to see it appear in the Steam library. Let's have a look. Okay, so we're gonna jump into Steam and see if this guy works. Looks like that's gonna work. Hey, and we're off to the races. Now, I tell you what, if you want some motivation to like start making your own games, I tell you what, seeing your own game in your Steam library is pretty fucking amazing. I gotta say, like, it's so cool. So now we've got Clipper installed with its amazing, like, look at this store art. Like, wow, look at all that stuff up there. It's so gray and dark. It's mysterious. We got it going. Let's just make sure that the game itself will run. Drum roll. And hey, we're off to the races, and we can brainwash a Viking and make them do our bidding. Cool stuff. All right, thanks for watching. Again, just wanted to show you the real everyday stuff. You know, sometimes it's working in a really tricky design problem. Sometimes it's solving a really technical bug. Sometimes it's just brushing your teeth. It's just doing the stuff that you got to do. We've only got 31 days left, and so we want to make sure that pushing to Steam and actually having the thing run on people's computers is just not something that we're having to worry about, you know, as we get to that deadline. We just want this to be in the can and done, and I'm pretty happy with where it's ended up. So I hope you found any of that stuff useful or exciting. Tomorrow, hopefully we can jump into some slightly more interesting topics. We might be covering like a little bit more of the mechanics of the game. I wanted to talk about that a bit more. Another bit of feedback that people gave me is like, You're talking about all these things in the game. I have no idea what you're talking about. Fair point. I'll try to do a better job of explaining that. But until then, stay tuned. Thank you again for your support, and I'll see you tomorrow.